like a boss.
I actually went to a museum yesterday, and they have this I can't explain what the fuck it is. Basically, in the 1600s, it's kind of a funny story. The king over here commissioned this big battleship to be built.
1628. Europe is at war. Sweden's king has prepared to join the fray by commissioning one of the largest and most impressive battleships his country has ever seen. She is called the Vasa.
And it actually had 2 gun decks. I think back in the day they only usually had 1. But they built 2 gun decks. Literally, I counted when I went to look at it. Like, they had like 20 some odd cannons on both sides. It was absolutely huge. The carvings and the woodworking in the back of the ship, and like the little windows where you open up, where you stick the cannons out, they had like these lions' heads carved in. I don't know, I guess it was something else to intimidate the enemy. Like the fucking cannons weren't enough, I thought the 20 cannons were bad, dude, but they got a fake lion head, and it doesn't look happy, So anyways, so they commission to have this ship built, so they build the fucking thing. Everybody piles on the goddamn thing. They got the guns out and all this shit, and they fucking go out in the bay. It's like a couple thousand people watching. And it fucking sank.
On Sunday, August 10th, 1628, hundreds of people gathered on the shore of Stockholm's bay to see the Vasa set sail for the first time. Then, tragedy. The ship was less than a mile from shore, with only 4 of her 10 sails up, when a gust of wind sprang up from the southwest. As astonished witnesses watched, the Vasa toppled over. 100 passengers scrambled to safety. Nearly 50 others drowned with the ship, 100 feet below the Baltic Sea.
They didn't even got to use it. It'd be like if you bought a brand new car. And so, you come home, dude, what's it got? It's got a 351 Cleveland. Dude, fucking do a burnout. And he just fucking, with like 8 miles on the car, you wrap it around a pole. And not only do you wrap it around a pole, all your friends fucking watch. And even though they're your friends, they're fucking secretly happy because they can't be happy for you because you have a better car, which means you're going to get better pussy. So it's just in their DNA, right?
Time out! Slater doesn't know it, but he's going to fail driver's ed.
So they fucking take this boat out there, and they say a squall came. I didn't look up to see what a squall was. Is that some sort of a storm? Is it a gust of wind?
Q inside 800.
A sudden storm, especially when at sea. Evan?
Was squall.
Good.
I know it isn't a rogue wave. That's one of the worst lines ever in a movie. Did you guys ever see Perfect Storm? A rogue wave evidently is like this mini tidal wave that just comes out of fucking nowhere, and a lot of times it washes people off the boat. So most people, they're not out to sea like me, so you have no idea what the fuck it was. So if you just showed a rogue wave in a movie, if the seas were kind of calm and all of a sudden this big wave out of fucking nowhere just washed a couple people overboard, you would have been like me sitting in the movie theater going, what the fuck was that? So they literally had to have Mark Wahlberg's character scream out, "Rogue wave!" as it comes in. Do you remember that? Who would yell that out? Wouldn't you yell, get down, or whatever the fuck you'd be like.
Get down.
You'd yell, fuck. Dude! That's what you'd yell. You wouldn't yell. Like if someone pulled a gun on you and started shooting at you, you'd be screaming. No! Running down the alley. You wouldn't be like, 38 special! Anyways, let me plow ahead here. All right, so they send this ship out. Everybody's standing on the shores. Everybody's all proud. Oh, yeah, look at the size of the boat. Look at these lion's heads, yeah? Right? And the fucking thing is some sort of squall hits it. Then I don't know what happened. It started to right itself. And then another one hit it, and it just fucking went down. And when you got 2 decks of guns, you go down quick. Like 50 people fucking drowned. It was just a nightmare. And evidently they had some sort of stones at the bottom of the boat, but they didn't have enough. I think that's to make it sort of sit in the water. You know what it really came across? It kind of came across like what Chrysler said the Suzuki Samurai was, where it said it tipped over at like 2 miles an hour because of its center of gravity, which evidently was a total fucking lie. They just wanted to sell more Jeeps. But I think that that's basically what happened. They built this big, grand fucking boat. And, they had trials trying to figure out, everybody was blaming each person.
In the end, the committee could find no guilty party, and no one was punished.
But anyway, so the motherfucker sinks to the bottom of the bay. And over time, people kind of forgot where the fuck it was. And it stayed down there for 333 years before they brought it. Somebody found it, they brought it back up, and it was in pristine fucking condition. Jesus, this is a long way to go. And me and my girl went to the museum and we saw it. I'm going to tell you, it's one of the most amazing fucking things I've ever seen. You know, you got to go check it out. If you're into that type of shit, it was unbelievable. I don't read a lot of the stuff either. I always get like sleepy when I start reading the plaques. I just like looking at the shit. And the little fucking boots that they had. People were so small back then. You know? I always wondered if I could go back in time like the size I am, if I would be like the toughest guy in town. You know? Especially if you imagine if you took like jiu-jitsu classes and all the latest fucking fighting styles, what a goddamn badass you'd be, you know?
I know Kung Fu.
No, wait a minute. They had like those fucking spiky balls that were at the end of the chains. All right. Do I sound dumb enough to make this an official fucking podcast? All right, let's get on with the podcast.
It's gonna be hard on my little boy.